Hey y'all, Melissa here at Twin Oaks Family Farm. Welcome back. We're in Southeast Ohio. This is August 5th, 2025. We're raising a flock of Cornish cross meat chickens. This is day 14 for them. So right at 2 weeks since their day of hatch, and we raised them for 6 weeks for the production of poultry. So we're about a third of the way through poultry production. There's 223 birds in this flock. Going to give you a look inside their grower space. If you have any questions about meat chickens, put it in the comments. Let us know if it's something we've encountered in our experiences with them. We'll answer it to the best of our ability. And if you are raising meat chickens yourself, let us know something about your experiences in the comments as well. In our opinion, Cornish cross meat chickens are the primo type of chicken to raise for poultry production. They're fast growers, they're efficient feed to meat converters, and you can have this process started and finished in about 6 weeks time, and the outcome is really excellent, top quality poultry. So we do have 223 of them. This is the floor space that they started in on day one, and we've actually expanded the amount of floor space they have access to as they've grown during these first 2 weeks. I want to try to give you an explanation and visual that I find so amazing about the rapidness of their growth pattern. So you see these birds in here now, and their barrier wall here is made out of livestock crates. We have 50 of these. These are stored on a wall in the barn. When we use these crates, this side here is the top where this opening is, and this slides to open and shut that opening. So when we use those, we put the bottom side flat on the floor, and we take hold of each bird one at a time and put the bird into the transport crate. This is something that will happen out at 6 weeks of age for them, out at the end of production. They're going to grow so much between now and then that when we load these birds into these crates, only about 8 full-grown Cornish cross meat chickens fits in each of these crates. When I look at their size now, how many of them could we fit in one of these crates now? Several dozen of them could probably fit in one of these crates now at the point in time where we're marking them as being 14 days old, 2 weeks old. But they're going to grow so much in the next 4 weeks that only 8 of them will fit in each of these crates when they are at the point of being 6 weeks old. So when we get to that point, we'll actually try to show you some footage of us loading them into their transport crates and how they fit in the transport crates. And that's how we load them for transport and haul them. So when we get to the end of production with this flock, we'll try to show you some of that. Our temperature outdoor today is mid-80s degrees Fahrenheit, and that's really the uppermost extreme of the ambient comfort level for this group of birds at this age. When they're 14 days old, 85 degrees Fahrenheit is right on the uppermost temperature that we would expect them to be comfortable in. So that would really be the temperature that we would aim for having for ambient conditions for them. They progressively want the ambient temperature about 5 degrees cooler week by week as we go through production. So by day 21, we're going to expect them to want it about 80 degrees Fahrenheit. So we're going to probably have to step up our cooling measures for this flock over the next week, because our temperatures are supposed to stay in the 80s, but are forecast to be about mid-80s, and they're really going to want it low 80s. So, and then they're going to turn a corner where they want it high 70s. So we'll probably have to add some homemade cooling stations that we make out of just plastic bottles that we put water in and freeze. And we can just set those actually around the floor space of the pen, and it creates cooling stations. And we have a couple of fans in here now, but I imagine we'll need to probably add more fans for their comfort level. We don't worry too much about who's who as far as how many males, how many females, which is which in the flock, because we just order them straight run. And in poultry language, straight run means send the chickens to me as hatched. Doesn't matter if it's males or females, we'll take whatever is in the group. So you can request only males, only females, but we take them straight run. So we don't really get concerned about what gender each one is, because we're going to raise them basically all the same, finish production at the same time with all of them, and take them all to the processor at the same time. So their appetites have been great. They're eating well. They've been consuming water steadily. We want to see that. We are seeing the quantity that they eat and the quantity that they drink increase, and we want to see that. We've already switched in the big feeders. As this week goes on, we're going to be switching in the bigger waters, and that helps on two levels. It makes things less labor intensive for us to be able to put more feed and more water into the pen at one time, but it also is better for the birds that those supplies are staying replenished in their pen and they're not running out. So we kind of reached a point where basically overnight, from the last check at night to the first check in the morning, they are getting to where they're consuming all the water. We don't ever want them to run out of water. So when we put the big waters in, that helps ensure that they're going to be able to go that whole overnight stretch without consuming all the water that the waters hold. That's the point we got to with the feed and compelled switching the feeders in. So we've gotten them used to the big feeders now. We need to raise the height of them just by putting some scrap wood risers under them, similar to what we do with the waters, to compel the birds to be eating like this from a standing up position. That's what we want to see. And we can compel that just by raising the height of that tray. But they are doing good. 223 of them in production for poultry, and should be a 42-day production length. So I'll have to look ahead at the calendar to find the date of their processing appointment. But thanks for checking in with us. As I started out with, please let us know if you have any questions, and we'd love to hear your experiences with meat chickens if you raise them. I know a lot of folks raise them in chicken tractors, and I'm trying to keep up with another channel, Backyard Boogie Homestead, that has all kinds of interesting content on their channel that I enjoy. But I believe they are also raising Cornish rock cross meat chickens that might be just a little bit older than our flock here currently in the first week of August 2025. But they raise theirs in a different setup, a different format. So I won't give too much of it away. But you go check out Backyard Boogie Homestead and see the production system that they're using for their meat chickens. And this is a different example of a production system. If you're interested in raising meat chickens and maybe how you could set that project up at your place, you can see a couple of different examples of ways that's done. So thanks, y'all. We appreciate you. God bless you, and keep on keeping on.